Hello everyone, and welcome to what I believe is episode 20 of Ascension Hardcore, not Hardcore Ascension like I said in the other episode. Not like it makes much of a difference. But for this episode, we have a bit of a holiday-themed episode for the winter holidays, as jack-o'-lanterns are behind me. I didn't really decorate for it. I considered actually getting the Christmas version of Lithos again, because I did that for the original Ascension series, but it's a pain to set up resource packs for 1.6 because they're texture packs and I have to edit things, so I didn't bother with that. But instead, I have a little bit of a Christmas plan for this episode, or just seasonal plan, holiday plan, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to go around to the villages, go door to door, and find and kidnap a priest. You know, maybe this isn't as holiday themed as I thought it was. Anyway, so you might have noticed that there's no time traveler this time, or at least not yet, and that's because time traveler wasn't able to make it this time, but not for lack of trying. So we actually were kind of troubleshooting or waiting for a few hours to try and record, but her computer just wasn't up to recording today. It was lagging too much when she tried to play the game. So since I wasn't planning on like finding a boss or anything this episode, I decided just to record this one myself so I could get it out on time for Christmas, and yeah, hopefully it goes well and I don't die because something sneaks up behind me. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing. Anyway, so there are some things we did since the last episode. The first is I leveled my Goki stats and I got bows up to 10. And also TM grinded her stats up. I think she has more or less the same as me now. I know she backs swords, bow, and I think all the protections up here. Maybe not all of them, at least I think the blast and the normal protection, so she's now caught up with that. And also, as you might notice, we upgraded our chest to obsidian because we had the resources. So yeah, and I did mine some ores, and I already said that upgrade the chest. But I also upgraded the experience chest, or I made more and relocated them. There used to be one there, and I just shuffled things around a little here. And as you see, there's a good bit of experience in them as well, because while doing levels, I stockpiled them. And yeah, aside from that, though, yeah, there's a good bit of ores in here. Mainly 30 therium. So I went strip mining while TM was grinding levels, and I got some adamant, and she ended up getting one of those loot chests off a skeleton, which I think has some therium or adamant in it. So we were able to make more therium, and thanks to this onyx furnace, we got some extra outputs, which is really helpful. So yeah, we're doing pretty good for supplies and stuff, but the main thing... Okay, so I didn't touch on this yet, and I probably should. So the reason I want to kidnap a priest, or find a priest, or go to villages in general, is because of bottles of enchanting. So they're kind of a little, like, loophole in the mod pack I added, just to give them more of a use. Because they are something I added to allow chest loots as a rare thing, and the only way to get them by default, though, is villages. So, since we have so many villages, I mean... We already checked this one, didn't find any, but there's one up here, there's one here. I think there's one here. All the green are villages. Besides that, that's meter. That's a village. So, yeah, we found a lot of villages. Chances are someone will have bottles of enchanting. And even though I use some on the experience chest, we still have a good bit of emeralds. And we can always trade for more, because there's always those trade like, oh, give me coal, give me wheat. And we actually used most of my wheat before this episode. And I still have a good bit. And I also use a lot of coal. Smelting stuff, I'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, so bottles of enchanting, though, they can replace the gas tier in the fusion furnace, because normally to make Sinasite, I'd need mithril here, onyx here, and then a gas tier up top. But with a bottle of enchanting, I think I need like 3 to replace the gas tier, but it can be 2 Sinasite instead of 1. And combined with this to double it, or have a chance of doubling it, we could easily turn these 5 onyx into enough Sinasite to make bows and swords for both me and TM. And that's my goal. I want to try and get a Sinasite weapons before we fight the next boss, because the next boss is also the one we can range. I think the only one you can range, actually. I'm not sure if all the others are immune to arrows. I think some are, or at least there's the Ice Beast and the Elf Hunter. Elf Hunter is weak to bows, or can only be killed by bows. I think the Snow Beast might be immune. And then of the other 2, I know one's immune to bows and swords, and I'm not sure about the other, but I know it's weak to swords. So we have to wait and see, but it makes sense to get the bows before we fight the bow boss, and that's next. So we could just even make onyx bows, but we only could make one. It would use like all our onyx. So it's not really worth it, even if it is flame. And I think Cinesite... actually, can I... There we go. Yeah, that's a knockback. Not particularly useful, but it is the strongest bow. So... Yep, there's that. And as you might have noticed, I had some weird stuff in here. Coal and gravel? What does this do? Well, I'm glad you asked. So if I go in here and take these adamant legs. So, something that one of the add-ons for Simple Ores added, I believe, or I don't think I added these recipes. It added the ability to salvage down items to get ores and such back. So the recipe for most of them is coal or charcoal and gravel with any item, regardless of durability, will give you back some ore. And that is insanely good, because we have some of these broken items from the grinder. You know, like a skeleton location where I'm going to get them as a drop. And I think that should give me 2. Yep. So that's 2 adamant. You know how long that would take me to mine? Quite some time. So now we put this in here, we might get 2 or more adamant back. And then we can turn that into therium. Although we're very low on glowstone dust. But I don't want to go to the nether alone, just out of fear. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention on a note. In addition to, you know, leveling, doing some mining, and upgrading the chest and experience chest, I don't know where, but off camera, twice a meteor fell, and we don't know where it is. Since we got the alert and since we heard it, it's probably somewhere nearby, but I have no idea where the meteor is. We went around looking, like, around this area or around the steep biome around our base, and we didn't find it. So when we're out and about, we might run into a meteor. Just a heads up. And yes, we got 3 adamant out of that. And now we get 3 mithril. And all but 1 the glowstone dust, and now we can make 3 therium chunks, and then we put the 3 therium chunks back in here and have a chance to double them. So see, this onyx furnace was way worth its price. Like, it might seem like a waste to spend 4 onyx on that with how few onyx we have, but it is going to pay back. It already has with the therium. And, oh yeah, sorry, there's a lot of things I want to mention this episode. I'm just kind of all over the place, but... Another thing is, in the other episode, you might have noticed I almost died to the Enderlord. And I went back and watched the footage. So, you know, you have 10 hearts or 20 health. Going by health, it hit me a 4, 5, and a 5, leaving me with 6 health. So, I could have probably lived 1 more hit, but it's also possible it could have did like a high roll or grit and hit a 6. At the very least, it probably would have hit another 5 and took me down to just 1 health if it hit me again, which is way too much damage, because I don't know how strong the Enderlord is compared to the other bosses. Considering how it works, it might actually be stronger than, say, the Elf Hunter. But the Elf Hunter can hit us even for like 4 damage or range. That means it can kill us in 5 shots, and it also has poison. So chances are like 4 shots and we die if we don't heal. Now potions can heal 8 if they're instant health too. So we could out heal their damage, but it also does take a good bit of time to drink a potion or even use a splash potion. So I feel like our mithril armor is not cutting it. I only have protection on 2 pieces, and the projectile protection would help more of the Elf Hunter, so we probably could do it, but I'm not feeling confident about this armor. That's why I really want to get us, both me and TM, a full set of therium armor, and if we can't get full therium, we can fall back to diamond, but ideally I'd want full therium, because therium is better than diamond. So that's something else I want to do this episode. Okay, so now we put that in there, and we wait. But yeah, so back to the other thing though. So to salvage other items, the recipes are different. To salvage this therium shovel, for example, it's the same thing with gravel, but instead of coal, it's a bucket of lava. And these, since they're all based on nether, they replace the gravel with netherrack. So I'm going to salvage down all of these and see what we get. And wow. Okay, so we're gonna get 4 or 5. Yes, we got 5. That's awesome. So we have 35 therium, and it's, I believe, 24 for a set. So we have a set and 11 therium. That's pretty good. Oh, so I guess we should make therium armor now. Because, you know, if I'm gonna go out alone to villages, I probably should have better armor, or it's probably better to upgrade my armor first rather than later. Because there's a chance I could run into Yetis or anything like that, and if they sneak up or hit me from behind, that could be problematic. So, since I'm, this is not as serious of an episode, but it still could be deadly. So, also, I got a whole bunch of levels from doing this as well. Oh, and right, that gives the Therium chunk. We put it in here, we have a chance to get more. But yeah, a lot of levels from this. And that's actually, I've only had like 3 of the chests filled, and I filled another 2 just smelting down stuff while I was waiting for TM when we were trying to troubleshoot our computer problems. So, I guess it's kind of good. Or at least there was some benefit. Not really good, but you get what I mean. Okay, so we're also going to smelt down the onyx because I don't think we really want to use partially graded onyx. It is better than Therium, or I think it's around on par with Therium. Or I think it's the thing, between Therium and onyx, you could get the same protection as Sinusite. Because, like, maybe, actually, we can check right now. So, Therium boots versus onyx boots, they're the same. I feel like in one part, it is better, though. They're the same. So maybe it is the same either way, I don't know. Or I can't recall right now. But I feel it is better to smelt down the onyx so I can make more Sinusite once we can. However, for the Sinusite pickaxe, I'm going to leave that here for the moment. Because this has a lot of durability and we'd only get back like maybe 2 Sinusite. So if we already have enough Sinusite to make all the weapons, it might be worth having a pickaxe still. So I'm going to hold off on that. We always can smelt it down later if we change our mind. But for now, I just want to get the onyx back because we're going to get, I think, probably 1 onyx from this and 1 onyx from the boots. We got 2 that... Oh my god, I didn't know it gave ore. I actually thought it said onyx and not onyx ore when I looked at my notes. I feel like there's a little item glitch or something going on here, because it should smelt down the boots just fine now. Okay, that's working. I feel like this bucket isn't actually a... Yeah, I feel it's a glitch, because I'm moving it around, but it's not shifting in like that would. That's weird. Because I only got 4 lava buckets, I remember. And that would be 4. Oh well, I'll set it here for the moment. And hope that doesn't cause problems. So yeah, we got onyx ore, which is even better. Because now we can fortune it. I completely forgot we got, that though. Okay, so I guess we can just break these now. Because I have my fortune pickaxe in here. And no onyx on me. 6 onyx! Oh my god, that's amazing. And now, if we smelt this down, we're only going to get 1 or 2 Sinusite chunks. So it's not going to be as much as this. Wow, we doubled the onyx we had. Now we get a whole bunch of bottles of enchantment. We can make wow, we can make Sinusite armor even at this point if we get the bottles. Because the bottles will double this. It will go from pretty much this can make 22 Sinusite. Then we have a chance of... Wow, we could probably make a Sinusite armor set even. We're doing really well. Or at least as far as these rare ores go, we're pretty good at the moment. Anyway, but what I want to do now is to enchant. Now, the thing is, I looked it up, and we can enchant for protection. It requires either copper or tin, we don't have enough tin to make blocks, or iron blocks, or diamond blocks. Now, I think I'm going to hold off on diamond blocks, but these are +5, while this is +15. So this is +30, while this would be less than 30. Pray not mathing. But I think we could justify doing 35 per armor piece. That's 40 per armor piece. 55? Let's just go 55, because that's +55 to protection, because this is +15 each, that's +10 each. So, +55 each, very high chance all this will be protection. And if this is all protection, now, technically, it's not good to have all protection, or it would be better to have some of the other ones, like when fighting the Elf Hunter, projectile protection would be better. While fighting the Lightning Spear, blast protection would be better. But since we have to fight so many different things that use so many different types of damage, it's probably good just to have generic protection, or we'd have to make duplicate Therium pieces. So we don't really want to do that. Oops. Okay, so now we'll enchant the Therium armor. We still haven't even got to the village. That always seems to happen. Okay. So how do we want to arrange this? We don't have a sensor there, so it looks a little... We could put one there. I don't know. Doesn't really matter where we put them. Protection and Cold Touch. Now, what Cold Touch does is it freezes the ground under you. I think it might freeze lava, too. It's like Vanilla added one like this in a newer version. So, we do have a Protection 4 Therium piece. Put back some of the spare levels. Get. Also, the reason I'm kind of... Oh, I did get out the levels. The reason I'm kind of expending these blocks so readily on just one set of Therium is because we can easily mine more iron and copper now that we know we need it for protection especially. So even though we might not need to mine a whole bunch more to get another armor set, we can easily just mine more. So I'm not too concerned about using this all up on what will probably be my armor set for the moment, because I'll get more for TMs. Darn, fire protection and magnetism. So even with all this boosting, I still didn't get a protection piece there. But it is not a guarantee. Let's save the chest piece for last. Unbreaking protection. Okay, that's pretty good. And the last level 30 enchant. You know, I really want to make this succeed. I know I kind of said about not spending too much, but, tempted to use the die. Okay, so compared to an iron block that's plus 20, or plus 15, a diamond block's only plus 20, so it almost doesn't seem worth it, but... Okay, we did get protection. Protection on a breaking, so the only part that's not protection is the legs, which is fire protection. Compared to this armor, that's a pretty big increase. And also, this is 1.5 armor, or I think 3. Technically it goes to 20. It has 10 icons like health. So this is currently 17 armor. Now we put this on. That's 2, that's 2, that's 3, and this is 4. So this actually goes to 22 armor. And wow, that actually looks a lot like diamond. I remember it looking different. I thought it looked more like the icon of teal, but maybe because of the enchant, it looks a lot like diamond right now. Oh well. But I can put that armor away. Could even salvage down more metal if we need it, but we don't really need to salvage down metal that badly. So yeah, the only part that isn't... actually, did the glitch bucket? Nope, glitch bucket's still there. Hopefully it goes away on a server reset. But yeah, the only part that doesn't have protection for are the legs. So that went pretty well. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sleep, and then we're going to head off to the villages and try to get some bottles of enchanting. Now, another thing to note is I do have an entity mover, which could pick up a priest, thus a kidnapping line. And, yeah, so if I find a priest, I might be able to bring it back to continue getting its trades. But at the same time, sorry, I'm just kind of worried, because I planted a lot more trees, so we'd have more wood, but that also means more mobs can hide. Oh, like that. Also, there's yetis over here. But if I pick up the priest, it could reset its trades, which we could use to our advantage to keep resetting it till we get bottles of enchanting, or it means we could lose the trade. And also, keep in mind, trades in this version work differently than in later versions. I honestly don't want to aggro them, but I want to keep an eye in case I do. Okay, the chunks did load. I was worried. Don't want to run into empty chunks. F3A, reload chunks. Oh no, there's goblins in the village. Are there any villagers left? I think the goblins might have killed them all. I don't know how they interact, but... Gonna look, but we might just teleport right out. Yeah, there's... Darn, those Yetis got close real fast. Okay, nothing behind me that I can see. Yetis are gonna come around. We have a lot of arrows, so I don't mind expending them for the Yetis. Yeah, I feel like there's probably not any villagers here. I have no idea how strong the goblins are, though. I mean, I did just get better armor, so it shouldn't be that hard, but... Hey, Yeti. Some books in here. Oh, double books. I went inside a house that he's like, I'll just wait. Well, this episode's already running a tad long, and I still haven't got what I came here for. External Tomahawk. Yeah, I feel like this village is dead. It's too close to our base, and I think the goblins just killed everything while we weren't looking. I know the goblins are right over here, too, but... Yeah, the goblins are right down there by that Yeti. I don't think they have anything good in their chest. Oh, wow. Okay, I see the goblins there. I also want to get those flowers for teleporters. Oh. Ah. There we go. Okay, well, since I'm here, might as well take out these goblins and loot their chests. Also, I realized I could re-enchant the legs. Yeah, see, they have nothing of note. Also, I feel like something here might be able to respawn the goblins. I don't know. Yeah, this village is dead, unfortunately. So I'm gonna get the loot, teleport back to the base, and yep. I'd like to try getting to one more village this episode, though, rather than just ending it here. Boop. Okay, so put the experience back in leftover experience chest. And let me sort some stuff, then I'll head back out, and we can hopefully try one more village before we end it. Actually, instead of having a really long episode, I'm just going to call this one here. However, I forget if I mentioned this at the start, but this was going to be the last episode of the year, with the series resuming in January. Possibly with a little break over the holidays, I'm not sure. But instead of that, I'm going to record another episode after this to come up sometime probably later this week. So look forward to that, I guess. Unfortunately, Time Traveler won't be able to join me because she's not in this recording and she won't be in the next one. But still, that means one more episode of Ascension this year. And yeah, I probably don't plan to take a big break in January or like the holidays. But yeah. Anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And next episode, hopefully you can find the Bottles of Enchanting. So until then, goodbye.